而家有請咧Moneris Solution 嘅總裁同埋主席 James Baumgartner 先生咧，為我哋頒呢個最佳進步獎㗎。
We'd like to invite Mr. James Baumgartner, CEO and President of Moneris Solutions, to present the award for Most Progressive Company.
Some of you must wonder why a company like Moneris would spend thousands of dollars to sponsor an award like this. Is it simply to have the opportunity to stand up here and tell you how we grew to become the largest payment processor in this great country? Or rather, is it to learn from your entrepreneurial spirit so that we may one day be worthy to stand amongst you as progressive peers or as engaging entrepreneurs in the truest sense of the word? Well, I'm here tonight to tell you in no uncertain terms that nothing would make me prouder than to stand amongst you as your peer, your coworker, your entrepreneur. On behalf of a very honored Moneris Solutions, the most progressive Chinese Canadian Entrepreneur Award goes to SONA Computer, Xuening.
And here's a quick video presentation about our winning company.
A true entrepreneurial success story. Chen, founder of SONA Computer Incorporated, has taken Sona on a journey from a small retailer to a leading Canadian systems integrator and information technology service provider. In 1980, Chen came to Canada as a student with $6,000. By 1990, after completing his education and working for various companies, Mr. Chen was looking for something more. Something that could be his own creation. Hence, SONA Computer Incorporated was born with their corporate headquarters in Ottawa. Mr. Chen always had a clear vision of industry trends and the market's strengths and weaknesses. As a result, SONA always moved ahead of industry changes.
Often, I relate music to business. One of the important tactics that you have to know, and you have to do it so well, is to anticipate what's coming up in that music. Change of notes, change of rhythm, change of dynamics. So in business the same way, you got to know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's happening next month, what's happening next year.
In the 1990s, Sona flourished, expanding their Ottawa facility by 300% and opening a branch office in Newfoundland. The late 1990s, however, brought the first big change for Sona. The influx of mass merchants who were slowly pushing out the smaller retailer. Sona would have to take on an innovative approach and move from the retail to the corporate market. Knowing very well the need for corporate market knowledge, Leslie Emery, a well-known figure in the corporate sales world, was appointed as president. As a result, Sona started to move into not only large orders for the corporate world, but also earned the ISO 9002 Quality Management Certification and the award of the federal government's standing offers.
You have to be really open-minded. You have to know that Canada is it's a paradise for people from different origins, and they all have different background, different strengths, and if you can leverage those strengths, partner with them, you're going to gain a lot.
In the year 2000, the entire high-tech industry was experiencing a downturn. Mr. Chen saw yet another opportunity to diversify. It was clear a new revenue mix was needed. Sona took on a new business partner, Mr. Sam Damm. The two merged their ideas to form FoxWise Technologies. FoxWise was categorized as an aboriginal company and received financial support from the government. Today, Sona FoxWise provides services that include sales, technical specialists, project management, and logistics solutions to companies nationwide.
Do it in a smart way and spend all the hours doing business is not necessarily the best thing to do. Again, it comes back to partnership, Do it with other people. Share the work with your partners and employees. Empower them, encourage them. And, there's a lot of things they could do a lot better than you could. So when you are doing that well, you will be able to spend more time with your family and have a little bit more balance in life.
For his ability to adapt to the changing needs of technology and his willingness to succeed, Mr. Xuening Chang and SONA Computer Incorporated deserve to be recognized with the Most Progressive Award for 2006.
Congratulations, SONA Computer Incorporated. The award was nominated by Globedex Financial Corporation. And would Xuening Chen please come forward to receive the award?
恭喜 SONA Computer Inc. 呢個獎咧係由 Globedex Financial Corporation 所提名㗎。而家有請得獎者 Xuening Chen 先生上台。
Thank you very much, Mr. Baumgartner. And would Mr. Chen like to say a few words?
Thank you.
When I'm standing here, I feel very nervous. And at the same time, I'm excited and happy. And for this, I'd like to thank Globedex Financial for the nomination, and I also like to thank the selection committee who came all the way to Ottawa to look at our company, have a chat with me, and select me for this award. And thank you. And I'd like to also thank the Chinese Canadian Entrepreneur Association putting out such a fantastic award that has recognized many successful Chinese Canadian entrepreneurs and encourage many to continue on the day-to-day hard work, hard business life, and give them another reason to be, have more fun and more enjoyable, another goal to go after. When I started up my business 16 years ago, I never thought that I would be standing here. Looking back that many years, I saw a company went through many challenges and market changes. We have experienced the superstore come and challenge us as a small retailer, and being a high-tech company in Ottawa and being a supplier to many high-tech firms and experiencing the high-tech bubble burst in the year 2001 and 2002 time. It's a very challenge, but nevertheless, our company has managed to maneuver these kind of challenges. And when I'm thinking back, what helped us to do this? And I come to identify myself, I think that we always refer to two stories that I learned some time ago. And I'd like to just share that two stories with you. The first story was told by actually my first boss when I first graduate. His name is P.K. Louis, also in the computer industry. And the story goes like this. He says that one night, somebody loaded up a jumbo 747 airplane with $1 million worth of pennies. Overnight, this $1 million worth of pennies going to drop all over Toronto area. In the morning, when you wake up, you know for sure that there is $1 million on the ground. Okay? So you are a business person, go pick up that $1 million worth of pennies on the ground of Greater Toronto and see whether they're going to make money out of it or not. That's a very mind-boggling question. You know, the market is there, the $1 million is there, and how do you design an organization, a process, to go after this $1 million? At the end, you still have some pennies left for yourself. That story helped me to make decisions as to, you know, what market do we go after, what business process is required to go after those markets, and, you know, skill sets, technologies, equipment, and so on. So we learned a great deal from that, and always keep myself calm in my head when you see sort of opportunities out there. Then do you really want to go after that? Can you go after that? Are you capable of going after that? And then comes my second story. It's probably an old ancient Chinese story. The story happens in the ancient China when China is still an agricultural society. You have a farmer, an old man farmer, in his dying bed. He got 5 sons. At that time, you know, agricultural society, the more boys you have in the family, the more rich you're going to be. You know, much stronger, you have a strong family, much income, a lot of productivity. He called his 5 sons over and give them one each a chopstick. And then he asked them, now break your chopstick. No problem, they break the chopstick. And then he gave them a pair of chopsticks. He said again, break the chopsticks. No problem. Now he says that I'll give you 5 pairs of chopsticks. Break the 5 pairs of chopsticks, and his sons cannot do that anymore. And then he said that, you know, sons, after I pass away, you have 2 choices: work individually or work together. But when you work together, you'll be much stronger. Now, my parents didn't give me 5 brothers. I have a sister. And she is, you know, at the time, you know, she was doing financial analyst stuff. And I was, you know, alone in doing my business. So I had to look outwards, out of my family, to look for my partners, brothers and sisters. And I find Leslie and Sam. And they are my great partners. And I have to say that, you know, this award doesn't just belong to me. I think they do probably more than I could have done. And Leslie, I'd like to thank you. Taking the company for 7 years of leadership when the company needs to progress from a computer startup retail store into a corporate-centric, process-oriented ISO 9002 company. And without you, that we could not make that transition. And it's also at the time that our company needs a Western culture to be prevailed in the management of the company. And Leslie did a great job on that. And, you know, with that, we went into the corporate world, we went into the government, and we were successful. And I'd like to also thank Sam. You know, he is actually a First Nation, or there's another term for it, aboriginal people person, and he's my partner. And I'd like to thank you for giving our company, Sona and FoxWise, a special edge to doing business with the federal government. And also, I'd like to thank you, Sam. Being such a good partner, you take a lot of things I don't want to do. For example, you know, socializing. I hate socializing. And he's a great socializer. You know, partners, not only our business partners are my, brothers and sisters. My management team, the rest of our employees, they're great people. Canada is such a wonderful place. We have so many different immigrants from people from different origins. They have such a diversified strength and skills. They are natural, okay? So, as I said in the video, if you can leverage those things in certain aspects of business, at certain periods of business, you can gain so much from their skills, and you can, progress and grow with them in such a big way. And I'd like to just mention a few that I brought with me today. One is our controller, Ellen Fong. She's such a number person, so organized, pursue issues all the way to the end, and such a perfectionist. Thank you, Ellen. I'd like to also thank Alvina, and with her bundle of energy, and when she's around, you for sure would not miss her presence. I'd like to also thank Rita Wong. She's such an efficient purchaser and so cost conscious. So with that, and of course, the rest of my company staff. But, I can't, with all that, I'd also like to thank my wife for, being the mother of my 2 children, very adorable sons, and the love, unconditional love, and, maintain a family that is so warm and so caring when I go back to at the end of the day. And finally, I'd like to thank my parents for, for educating me and loving me for all these years. 多謝你媽媽. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chen.
Congratulations.